So for first character creation today, as I said, I am making a fetchling summoner in Pathfinder. So let's just, let me just set up the character sheet so you guys can see it. Bam! Alright, so we are making fetchling car. So fetchlings. Fetchlings are a race that are from the Plane of Shadows. Easiest way to say it. Oh god, what gender are we today? We're this number 4? Character number 4. So I think we did male, female, male. We did a female drow last time, didn't we? I, for the life of me, cannot remember what we did last time. We're in the 5th character. So yeah, I think this one will be male. So I've been alternating the characters. You know, it's trying to remember all this stuff. I am bad at remembering stuff sometimes. So, yep. Male. This, all the stuff down here, don't matter. Doesn't matter. We're not going to worry about it. Languages, not going to worry about it. If we were worrying about languages, we would make note of the fetchlings' languages, which, of course, are... Oops. I think Common is one of them, and the other language they speak... or they basically speak Common, and with higher intelligence, they have a number of bonus languages. So as usual, let's dive into what our ability scores are. We always kind of start out with ability scores, of course. It is the basic way to check things out. And like all we've been doing here, we're going to do high fantasy, so 20 points that we're giving. We're not doing the epic fantasies of something Lord of the Ring. We're not doing your standard fantasy fare, which is just very simplistic, or even low fantasy. We're doing the high fantasy. So, we have 20 points to spend. As a summoner, charisma is going to be our most important thing. We want to be charismatic to start out with. So, I think we've been avoiding putting 18s in anything as of yet when it's coming to character creation. Now, we will want to note our fetchling racial bonuses. We are having +2 dex, -2 wisdom, +2 charisma. So we're going to put this 2 dex, -2, +2 over here. There we go. Look at that. We set that up. Now, this is important because we are playing a class that uses charisma. So we're already at an advantage. Now... we could easily spend 18 of our points, or 17 of our points, and put an 18 into charisma. Bam. Right off the bat. That would be really good. We've 3 potent abilities. Now, the only thing about a summoner is, I don't think that's necessarily needed, because, though the summoner could take advantage of that 18 in certain ways, there are certain spells that summoners can create, such as the pit spells, which will have saving throws. The majority of summoner spells are things that will enhance themselves, or their summons, or their Eidolon, which we'll talk about the Eidolon in a bit. So I'm thinking we still only want to put a 16 in here, which is 10 of our points. Okay, so we are keeping that a little simple. We've still spent 10 of our points. Now, as a summoner, we're not going to need intelligence or wisdom. We're not going to really need strength. Dexterity and Constitution have some advantages. Oh, I didn't notice. We're going to do a level 2 character today. So level 2. Let's keep things a little bit simple and just put 14s in these 2. You know what? I think we can put this down to a 12. We'll put this at a 12. Just a little bit of intelligence. And wisdom we'll put at 11. Cool. I actually think that works pretty well. Now, we could grab a few bonus points somewhere. I could put the strength down to an 8 because I didn't really need that. But I think this character here, I don't want any major deficiencies. I want the great charisma. Oh, the wisdom is going to be a 9 right now. So if we put a 10 in here, we'll put an 8 here. We'll put an 8 here. Put a 12 here. Actually, let's make this a 9. Okay, so that does give us an even wisdom, not penalty wisdom, which I think is actually for the best. So we will have an odd score with our strength, but that's fine. It gave us 1 extra point, which we used to put 3 2s in there. So we basically spent 21 points because we had 1 extra. But we also then made our wisdom even with our penalty. We have still a decent dexterity, a decent constitution. I didn't even think the fact that we would have had a 16 dexterity if I put the 14 into it originally that I was going to do, and an 18 charisma. So we will have some bonus hit points. So we're going to be a summoner, and in particular, a shadow summoner. Now, why Shadow Summoner? Because as with I've been doing the entire time here, I've been doing archetypes for all the different races. Oh, I'm sorry, it's a Shadow Caller is the proper one. Shadow Caller. Now, since we are making a level 2, we have to consider that we are going to do it as if we are level 2. Now, let's zoom over to our the PSFRD and get some information from here. Now, I was down here getting information about the summoner. We are D8 hit dice. So, that's an important thing to note. Let's also note our skills here. 2+ intelligence modifier. Well, we have an intelligence modifier right now of 1. So we'll have 3. We also want to look at our favorite class bonus. So let's look over here. Favorite class bonus, Summoner. Eidolon gains resistance 1 against either cold or electricity. Each time it's recorded, its resistance to type of energy by 1 to a maximum of 10 of each of that type. I don't like that. It's good, but it's not good enough for me to say, my fetchling needs this. So, I think I will take the skill points. Because again, I prefer the skill points when it comes to favorite class bonus. And we're only taking 1 class, so favorite class. So we'll have 2 extra skill points there. Zoom back over here. 4 per level. We're going to have 8 skill points. So now, let's move back to the character sheet. Since we learned that we had D8s. D8. What's this? Favorite class hit points? No. Base attack bonus will be 1. Let me just zoom over here and get all the proper basic information. Base attack 1. Fortitude reflex will be 3 here. 2 favorite class skill ranks. Skills per level. 2. So that should theoretically over here give me 8. Yep, there we go. 8 skill ranks. Cool, excellent. Oh, D8. Current max hit points 4. Oh, 2D8. That's not good. So it'll be 13, and we'll take the half plus 1, because that's what I usually take. So it'd be 8 plus 9, so 13. So our max hit points becomes 17. Because we took 8 full hit dice for the first one, plus 2. And then we took half plus 1, rather than rolling it. Which, granted, we could have either rolled it, or we could have taken the true average, which would have been a 4. But usually half plus 1 is the one that most people take. So in this case, it was, you know, half plus 1, and we got 17 total hit points. That's not bad for this level. Our initiative is 2. Base speed is 30 for a fetchling. Let me just check fetchling, because of course we should keep an eye out on it. I'll zoom over there briefly. Yes, base speed is indeed 30. Alright, so we have most of the stuff we need right here. Right down, done. We got our hit points. We got our initiative. These are probably not going to change at all. We need to start adding in some abilities. So let's go over to the abilities and let's start looking at racial abilities. And so let's take a look over here. Once again, racial abilities. So we have Shadow Blending, Shadow Resistance, Skilled, Spell-like abilities, Dark Vision, Low-light Vision. Now the spell-like abilities are actually quite good, so I don't know if I want to remove those because I might want to take the feat chain of spell-like abilities. We would not get the +2 knowledge planes from bound to here, we'd have the native alt tutor. So bound to here might be a good idea to take. We don't get the bonus knowledge planes, and we don't have our native outsider works a little differently. Shadow blending and shadow resistance gives us spell resistance. The Boundary Walker sucks in comparison to what I want for this character. It's not good for this character. There's a time and a place for this spell resistance. Now is not it for this one. Replacing skilled with bonuses against fear. Nah. Shadow blending replaced with being able to use diplomacy and bluff. Roll twice once per day and take the better results. I think emissary I actually want to take because I do have a high charisma. So bound to here, emissary, gloom shimmer modifies the spell-like abilities. Nah. Recluse modifies spell-like abilities. That replaces skilled. So we can replace it with bonuses to bluff and diplomacy, which actually might be something I want to do. Oh, but then I couldn't take bound to here. I don't need bound to here though. That was just like I qualify for human stuff too. So I'm thinking shadow agent, emissary. Those work really well together, these two here. Shadow magic also replaces skilled. We're replacing skilled. We're not changing our spell-like abilities. Not doing that one. And not doing that one. Not doing that one. Not doing that one. Okay. So in place of our shadow blending, we have emissary. And in place of our skilled, we have shadow agent. But we still have our shadow resistance. So let's go back to our character sheet then and start entering these in. Which this will never quite work right well. Okay, so name. Shadow resistance. Again, I'm not going to enter any details about these. I'm just going to effectively put them in here. Racial traits. Just so they're there. So we got our shadowy resistance. Now we replaced shadow blending with emissary. So we have emissary, and this will be of the type racial trait. Okay, cool. And we changed shadow agent for our skilled. Shadow agent for skilled. And we have our spell-like abilities. Spell-like abilities. Now, the only thing about the spell-like abilities is I would want to... Right now, I have Disguise Self once per day as a spell-like ability. So, I really want to go over to spell-like abilities and put Disguise Self. It's levels hit dice, spell-like ability. And I mean, that's horrible spelling for one thing. And I will get more spell-like abilities as I level up. We also have dark vision and low light vision, which I can note here too. Sure, dark vision. The fact is, a lot of these I would, if I am. One thing, I'd spell things correctly, which I am not doing at all. Now, our bonuses, we do get those skill bonuses to bluff and racial to bluff and diplomacy. The fact is, at this point, if I wanted to, I would have entered a lot of information that are my racial information. I could have entered it. All the details about those, I could have copied it from the PSFRD, the D20 PSFRD, into those points there, and I could have spread a little bit more information over there. The amount of information is still pretty decent that I put over there, but it's not the full bit of everything you could ever sort of throw together. So yeah, I'm definitely saying that it's enough stuff that I've thrown in there. All right, let's look at our summoner. So I'm going to go back over to summoner over here, as I'm going to look at my skills. See, here I'm finding my skills. All right, I don't have anything for bluff or diplomacy, but I'm really great at those. So I kind of want to take those. Remember, I talked about having traits, which we're going to have traits this time again, because again, we're implying. So we have craft as a class skill. Is that class skill, right? Yep, we have craft, fly, handle animal. Oh, knowledge all. Well, dang. Take your choice of knowledges. We got them. Which is an advantage. Linguistics, yep. Profession, ride, spellcraft. Use magic device. Oh, jeez. There's some good choices here. The first thing I do want to do, because I want to have a 2 in bluff, ranks in it, 2 in diplomacy. So I've used 4 out of our 8 skills. I still want 2 in at least 1 more of these things, and 1s in some other stuff. Ride, profession, no. Linguistics, it could be very good, but I'm thinking I want to make sure to have really good spellcraft. Spellcraft is going to be very important. Use magic device. Putting 1 rank into it is going to mean a difference. And then linguistics and knowledges are very important, but are they important enough for me to put ranks in them that I need to worry about rolling them? This character here that we're building is a fetchling, made to be diplomatic and knowing a little bit about actually nobility might be the key. Now you might say, well, what about Arcana? Wouldn't that be a better choice? Well, yes, there are times and points that Arcana might be really great. But we have 8 to bluff and diplomacy, so we've already built ourselves to be a great character at doing those 2 things. And this is without it being a class skill. If I can manage a few traits to get bluff and diplomacy. So first, I am going to look up some traits now. Now, granted, normally you might do traits in a different order. Let's see if there's fetchling traits. There are a couple of fetchling traits. Cool. And I want to look up bluff and look up traits. Okay, so that would give me bluff is always a and diplomacy. Oh wait, shadow caller. Shadow caller. Oh, we had stealth or class or some moves use magic device. So we had stealth instead of use magic device. So let's not do use magic device. Let's do a 0 there. And I'm not tempted for that. And stealth, though it's on my class skill list, I just don't think I need it. I think what would be better in this case, because I have that change, is maybe now I have that rank in knowledge diplomacy. Oh, sorry. Let me see it. See, so I changed that thing around. Move this. We changed the cross class over here. We added this in here. Not as easy to switch back and forth because I got to actually do it manually in the thing I'm working on. But see, that was an important thing to note with that. Now let's go look at some of these here. Gain plus 20 trace bonus again to bluff checks on attack rolls against opponents who are denied their dexterity bonus against you. Yeah. You get a mischance from your shadow blending ability. I got rid of shadow blending. None of these are great. Fast talker is a social trait. Fast talker might be the thing to do. Let's look up diplomacy traits. Student philosophy. No. Missionary. Friends in high places. Axis. I'm just gonna look at a lot of these. Oh, this is from Legacy of Fire. We can't take it. Wow. Extremely fashionable equipment one. Whenever you're wearing clothes, jewelry worth at least 150 gold, and not otherwise covered in gore, sewage, or other things that would mar your overall look, you gain a +1 trait bonus to those. One of these skills of your choice is always a class skill for you. So that is a way I could get the class skill, but I might not get the trait bonus. Yeah. That's a drawback. We're not going to talk drawbacks. Well, that's another entire level we're just not going to be diving into. Trust me, we could dive into it if we really wanted to. But gregarious. This is from Player's Companion Quests and Campaigns. Okay, so it's a good book. No. Quadra Gateway to the East. It's a Player's Companion. Prince or Princess. What do you skills a class? I mean, we could be. We could be a prince or princess. Huh, honest. Fast Talker was good. Fast Talker was a good one to get. Honey Tongue. Honey Tongue is a religion trait. It's from Inner Sea God. No. The thing is, I think that if I want to have the diplomacy, I kind of have to. Well, I mean, the one I got rid of recently goes down. The extremely fashionable might be the way to get the two of them. A fast talker that's extremely fashionable. You know what? That's better than being a prince or princess. The prince or princess don't think I could excuse quite as well. But a extremely fashionable and fast talker. So the unfortunate thing is we're not going to always get the trait bonus to, for example, we're going to get it to bluff all the time. Trait bonus. Bam. The diplomacy, we're not. The big thing is that we can say that this is a class skill, this is a class skill. So now we have 12 to bluff and 11 to diplomacy at 2nd level. This makes us master of our words, and this is beyond any other abilities we could do. We are masters of our words. Now, we haven't looked at feats at all, which we only get 1 feat right now. So let's take a look at our racial feats over here, because I think we've been trying to stick with and maybe taking them. Dark Sight. Dark Sight gives us, we can see clearly in magical darknesses we have had deeper darkness, but we need Gloom Sight for that. Alright. Gloom Sight. Gain darkness 9 light sensitivity. I think the Ghost, Shadow Ghost and Shadow Walker, when we eventually could take those, are going to be good. But up until then, no. But we can take, because that's the last thing I want to look over here. Let's go searching. Extra evolution. Extra evolution increases your evolution level. It could be again at 1st, again at 5th, 10th. So we'll take extra evolution as a feat. Let's switch over back over to here. Let's go over back to abilities. For our 1 feat. These are traits. Racial trait. Racial trait. No, that's trait. That's trait. And that's a racial trait. There we go. I want to be an all. Let's go over to all. And extra evolution X1. Because, you know, we'll theoretically take it more than once over the course of our character creation. We're going to take it as a feat. Yes, it's our first feat. Okay. So we've actually done a lot here. So we do have one more to our evolution pool. We've gotten our skills. We've gotten our hit dice. Let's just note our money. We're actually going to have more than 70 gold because we're starting at higher level. Let's see. We want to look up gold by level in Pathfinder. Because we actually are going to have more wealth by level. That's what we want to look up. The wealth by level table. Oh, character wealth by level. I don't know if this is the correct table that I needed. Of course it's not. Okay. PC level wealth. Okay. Uh-huh. There's so many tables in here. Let's try to figure out, like, what the... Wow. English escaped me there for a second. I can't remember it. I don't think it's 1,000, but it's saying 1,000 over on the PSFRD. It's saying 1,000 as I try to, like, quickly look for this table. Character wealth by level. That's under NPCs, creating NPCs. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Starting at higher levels. That's what I need to really look up. I don't have that here. Wonderful. That's not helpful. Character advancement. Oh, yeah. That's experience. That's the stuff. It might be under equipment. Sheesh. That's the only thing I sometimes worry about, is because also I don't have some of the stuff at the side here, which pops up if I... See, I can pop it out. Just, you're going to miss a little bit for a couple seconds as I try to find this out. Let's shrink it back down. The size we've been working on. Sorry. Starting treasure. Magic items. That's not what I need. Anyway, let's say I think it's supposed to be 700. So let's go back over here because I think it's supposed to be 700. I can't remember what I'm looking up right now because I'm forgetful. Forgetfulness. There isn't really a lot to spend the money on except for like minor magic items or anything. So I think right now I'm not going to worry about spending equipment for this character because it's just not going to be critical. Buy some light armor, buy a couple small weapons. Summoners do have a little bit of equipment proficiency. They are proficient in at least light armor, and now that's without interfering in somatic components. Anything else, it does. Let's go over to, wait, we have to do toggle spells. Use spells. So I gotta remember these things too. Okay, so at second level, we have spells known. We have 0 level, 5. And first level, 3. Spells per day. 2 first level. Now, bonus spells. Well, we have enough of a intelligence by charisma. It's not noting that correctly. Great. Ha 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 ha. Yep. Class. Oh, there we go. That popped in. That's good. Oh, and that popped in there. Oh, look at that. Oh, and there's a concentration checks. Oh, very nice. Look at that, it did it correctly. We did spells very quickly and efficiently. But no, we're going to just not bother with equipment today. That's the only thing I'm going to say about it, really. With a summoner, I don't really have to worry too much about equipment. I would buy some, as I said, light armor, probably some kind of weapon of some type, which you're proficient with simple weapons, so like a spear or a quarterstaff or something. And then potions, scrolls, and wands. And we couldn't afford... we couldn't afford much for any of those. It's not even that long in, and I'm already watching. So, class abilities for summoner. Let's take a look at those, because let's make a note of those. Eidolon, Lifelink, Summon Monster 1, Bond Senses. Those are the ones we want to mention. So let's go over to our character sheet and go back to abilities. Going to alls, which we have. We had Eidolon. Which I'm probably spelling that horrible, and that's a class feature. Oh, and we got sent over here. So Lifelink. Lifelink, which is a class feature. Eidolon's basically some kind of creature that you can summon. You have to build yourself. Summon Monster 1. As a class feature. I'll explain that too. That's, you can summon for things for minutes per day. And bond senses. As a class feature. Alright. Yes, we've expanded our things into more class features for summoner. And some things for racial traits, spell-like abilities, traits. Yep. I think we have feat in here somewhere. There's feat. Extra. Alright, so let's talk about some of these abilities you have as a summoner, because we have to look at them. Of course, the big thing of the cantrips, we're just going to do them as part of our entire thing here. So that's part of doing the spells when we do spells. Eidolon's going to be the big one to sort of do. God. Eidolon's another character. That's the easiest way to say it. So, I did want to do this, but again, it's been a long day, and been very busy with work, so I don't want to exhaust myself, especially because I just was on stream doing a character creation earlier. If you guys missed me on Worm's channel, a Worm for Monday, there's an entire thing on building Eidolons, which we're going to look over here. So level 2 Eidolon would have 2 hit dice, base attack of 2, good saves will be 3, its poor saves will be 0, 4 skill points of feat, armor bonus of 1, +1 to its strength and dex, 4 evolution points, make that 5 because we took the bonus one, 3 maximum attacks, dark vision, the link with us, sharing my spells, and evasion. Yes. It'll be d10s, it'll have 2d10, so it should have 16 plus its constitution modifier. We looked at the type of Eidolon it is will determine. I usually do humanoid. Humanoid Eidolons are pretty simple. Probably power attack. Power attack is always a classic one for a feat. Evolutions, I have See, we would do biped. It would have good fort, bad reflex, goodwill. So there we go. 2 claws it starts out with. And after that, we take evolutions, which you have levels and value. Like a lot of the more powerful ones have a requirement of you have to have a certain level in order to take them. Like 3.1s. Like 9th level for this one, 9th level for that one. 12th level here, 9th level here. Major magic is not what I'd be looking at. Sacrifice is not what I'd be looking at. See in darkness, 9th level. Oof. Breath weapon, 9th level. Dang it. Dimension door, 13th level. Fast healing, 11th level. Large is 8th level. Or at 13th level, you can make it huge. Which then its size and its power is ridiculous. Yeah, we would look at technically 2nd and 1st level ones when we're thinking about it. We can always give it weapon training, simple proficiency, 2 evolution points. For 4 evolution points, it could have proficiency in martial weapons. It's not really worth it. Rend is pretty cool, but that's 6th level. Rake is 4th level. You can see that we don't qualify for a lot. Ooh. Limbs, we can give it more limbs. More and more and more limbs. Immunities, 7th level. Grabbing, it can grab with its claws. Flight, 5th level. Energy attack, 5th level. Yep, the 1st level ones are the ones we can really get. Oh, we can get ability increase, though. And our humanoid form told us our base stats, too. So, anyway, 5 points. We would basically be building a 2nd character with our Eidolon. So that's the Eidolon ability. Lifelink. This one, it shares life back and forth between us. That's the easiest way of saying it. Summon monster. 3 plus your charisma modifier number times per day. So 7 times per day, I can use summon monster 1 and have it last minutes per level instead of rounds per level. And I use this in place of my Eidolon. But I get 7 times per day. Then I can just summon something else. It's very good. It's very good. This is. Oh, bonded sense is the other thing where we can. I can taste and touch and feel and smell everything my Eidolon can. All right. So we've handled our core, our defenses. We're probably taking a chain shirt with the money we have now, and the dexterity we have now. So we've got a chain shirt. We have a quarterstaff. That's sending. We can make it a masterwork quarterstaff and a masterwork chain shirt. And guess what? That's going to be most of the money we have here. That's 450. It's like 100 for a chain shirt. So that's 550. That's pretty good. A couple potions. Hey, I spent the money. I spent the money. We would have an AC of 16 right now. I could get a buckler. Because the only problems with having a buckler is if I have AC penalty, which if I also make that masterwork, which I theoretically could, then it removes that penalty, which would go to attack and damage, because it's the armor check penalty, because I'm not proficient with it. So I could use a buckler then, if it's masterwork buckler. Yay! I could have a 17 AC. Nice. Reflex, will, and fortitude are good. I don't have a wisdom modifier, but I make up for it in having all goodwill. Oh, wow. We're doing pretty good here. We have, like, all the abilities. We are level 2. We want to look... We got our skills. It's really spells that we're down to that we're looking at now. And again, I went over what we're doing with the Eidolon with its 5 evolution points. I'm not going to dive into it. Now, we do have to talk about what Shadow Caller did to us. We have Shadow Eidolon and Shadow Summoning. Shadow Summoning is pretty much just summoning, except When a creature is summoned, monster list indicates that it's summoned with either the Celestial or Fiendish template based on the alignment of the caster. A creature summoned by a Shadow Caller has the Shadow Creature template. So our Celestial Bison would be a Shadow Creature Bison. Also, each of the spell lists alters it by adding or subtracting a certain number of creatures. Summon Monster 1 is not adding or subtracting creatures at all. So pretty much it would just be the Summon Monster 1 list with I summon Shadow Creatures instead of the normal things. Now, Shadow Eidolon, it manifests with shadows and powers of shadows. It's a thing of the Shadow Plane, and unlocks a couple of new evolutions, Shadow Blend and Shadow Form. And Shadow Creature Template is actually provided as part of this entire thing, which is kind of cool. Shadow Blend and Shadow Form. Oh, they were special ones anyway. Oh, it's similar bonuses to what I was giving. Ah! Fascinating. Oh, we should really be over here since we're talking about all this stuff over here. We really should be. I have to find spells. Oh, it's over here. Magic. Spells by class. Because we're going to the Summoner. But Shadow Call. See, here's the Shadow Creature Plane template. It has Shadow Blend instead of Smiting. Cool. Again, I would make sure to particularly go in and note a lot of this stuff if I was in particular building this for a game. Oh, is that third-party summoner spells? Oh no, I can click on here to do third-party summoner spells. Okay. Wow. I'm reading. So, I know 5 first level. Or 5 0 level, 3 first level. Alright. Detect Magic. Light, because you sometimes want to see in color. Mending. Message. And I would probably take for this one Open Close. Open Close. So yeah. Detect Magic. Light. Mending. Message. Open Close. First level spells. Oh, we have so many choices here. Man. There are some really good and really bad choices here. We'll talk about some of the better choices rather than looking at bad choices at this point in time. We have to choose 3 of them. Mage Armor would be good if we weren't already wearing armor. I built this to have armor that we would buy and use that. Shield is not bad. As a defensive bonus, it would replace the 1 buckler, which we could have had, and technically save money then, because the shield bonus to AC. So maybe we want to, rather than having a 17 AC, we would have a 16, and we could put it up to a 20 with shield. That's actually not a bad idea. So shield, I think we should take. It's defensive measure. Rejuvenate, Eidolon, lesser. Our Eidolon's going to get damaged, and it's the best way of getting it better. Period. And I'm thinking for the last one, after that, Featherfall. Featherfall is always good. So those 3, I think, are going to be our spells. So, even though I'm not going to go back to our character sheet and make notes of our spells that we're choosing, I'm letting you guys know now the spells that we're choosing. Because, again, I'm not trying to write in every detail in the character sheet right now. I'm just putting together the character as we see fit. But we've already kind of defined a lot about what this character is by the things we've chosen. The spell selections, the skill selections. So we are indeed a fetchling, someone from the plane of shadows. And now we find ourselves on the material plane where we are a master of words. In deception, we talk with others in order to get what we want, really. If we need to get into battle, we can summon our Eidolon to defend us. It's a creature of shadows, just like our own selves. Perhaps now that we are on this land, we've begun to journey and take our adventures in the material plane, because it is more adventurous than it would be on the plane of shadows, of course. But our original reasons for coming here were vastly different. It's just that things have evolved into us being here for adventure. Our skills and our knowledge and our ability to schmooze and be in high society reflects it. We are one that may have been of some form of high society, nobility in the plane of shadows. Something that tends to be a little bit more unique among fetchlings. Fetchlings don't usually get that high station. So perhaps that's another reason why I left, because I felt like the society there was bringing me down to their level. Interesting character. Definitely an interesting man to travel out into the world with and to play with. And again, this one probably works pretty well for being either male or female. I have it as male right now, and I'd say our alignment is probably true neutral. Probably just neutral. You feel like just a neutral dude. Yep. And again, I'm not going to throw together the Eidolon completely. I just was making some more steps to increase what we're doing in the character creation process. So, I am going to take like a minute, set things up for the next part of the stream, go fill my water, and we will continue with Vampire Masquerade portion of this, where we're going to finish up that Bruja we were working on. So, I will be right back in just a second. Let me go set everything up, get my drink set up, be right back.